Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm having a great day. It's a little bit later than I would like. I somehow got sucked into watching all of the other Hermit's videos today, and then I looked at the clock and it was 10 in the evening. And I'm like, well, my videos for tomorrow are not yet even started. Great. So it's going to be a late night, but that's okay. We have a lot of good stuff to do today. I want to do some more work on the keep, I think, and maybe some other things too. But I have a couple changes to this that I want to make, and I also have a couple things that I want to address, a couple questions that people had, and things like that. So let's Ender Pearl up here. First of all, one question that a lot of people had was, what castle is this actually based on? What am I basing my castle on? And the answer is there's not any one specific castle where I'm like, I'm going to rebuild that in Minecraft. Rather, I'm looking at a variety of different castles and features and things like that. And I'm kind of drawing inspiration from all of them, if that makes sense. It's not any one particular real-life castle that I'm looking at. I'm looking at kind of all the real-life castles that I can find to kind of get ideas and inspiration and stuff like that. I also wanted to bring this little chunk down, and I need to revise this whole thing a little bit. Because one of you pointed out, correctly, I might add, that a keep generally would not have a big courtyard. This whole thing would generally be the keep, including this area that we had kind of marked out to be the courtyard. So I think what I'm going to do, it's going to be kind of hard to show from here. Can I Ender Pearl like right there? Oh, look at that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll still have the ramparts right here, these kind of battlements, right? We'll still have our towers kind of jutting out, and then on the other side of the ramparts over here, we're actually going to take the structure and bring it up even higher, and this whole thing will basically end up being one large building. As a keep generally would. I'm going to have to revise this a little bit, but that's okay. And that's not going to be something that I'm really going to be able to do a whole lot of today, just because, to be honest, that's a lot of stone and also a lot of planning, which I just don't feel like doing a whole lot of planning right now. That's probably something I'll tackle tomorrow, is the planning of the rest of the keep and the shape. I'm going to have to kind of revise my design a bit. Also, the machicolations, machicolations are something different. We'll talk about those in a minute. These little bits that stick up right here, these crenellations, these are only placeholders. This is not the final crenellation design. I need to kind of figure out what I want to do there. We'll probably have some sort of stairs or something like that. In real life, crenellations would be high enough that when standing behind them, they would completely protect you from the outside, right? So you wouldn't be able to get shot. And then you'd be able to peek out and shoot down at defenders. Which leads me into my next point, which is machicolations, which is quite the word. And I may be pronouncing it wrong. But basically what machicolations are bits that kind of stick out from the castle a little bit. And they provide a hole that you can shoot down. So castles are really well known for... I don't think I have any stairs on me. Do I have a crafting bench? I do. Here we go. So castles are really well known for their bits that kind of stick out like this, right? At different elevations and levels. And those actually served a functional purpose. They weren't just added to castles for looks. They were there to actually serve a purpose. And that purpose was for defense. So if we were to take... Good fall, self. If we were to take this little part right here and kind of bring it out a little bit, and this could be kind of tricky to pull off, but say we did maybe something something like this, right? What we would have is... Oh, man, this is going to be harder than I thought. Well, maybe not. Maybe we can pull this off. Maybe we could do something like this. And then you'd be able to shoot down these holes down here at attackers. I mean, this is going to be one of those parts of a realistic castle that is going to be really kind of difficult to translate properly into Minecraft. But we're going to do our best. We'll try. We'll try it as best we can. Let's see how that looks. Let's see. Yeah, that could maybe work. It's not a great look, but it might work, especially... Oh, man, that's going to be a tough ender pearl. Right there. Haha, got it. Okay. Especially if we got rid of these and instead we did a stone stair. Let's see. This would be a full block. So stone stair here, there, and then like this, perhaps? Maybe something like this would work a little better. Let's try that. Let's see how that looks instead. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely does look a bit better. And then what we would probably do, just to kind of separate this little part right here just a tiny bit, is throw a slab right there. I would love to have an elytra right now, but I don't, so it's okay. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think that'll work. For this little area right here. The idea being that defenders could be up there and they could shoot down at attackers through those gaps, while making it a almost impossible shot for attackers to shoot arrows back up at them, right? You can see there's like this little... That would be a very difficult shot to make and hit anything with any degree of accuracy. So I think that'll work. Now, another thing that was brought up a couple times in the comments in the last video is that this is a very stone bricky structure. Don't worry, this is not the final form. This isn't even its final form, guys. No, this is... The way that I personally like to build is I like to kind of get a... I guess you would almost call it a canvas to work with. One tech... There's a puddle there. One texture. I like to build the whole initial thing out of basically one texture, right? Because the first thing that I want to get right is the shape. I want to make sure I have an interesting shape to work with. Once I have that done, then I can go back in here, once we have the shape worked out and some of the other details worked out, you know, where windows would go, general shape of the building, how high it's going to be, you know, all those kinds of different things. Once we have that kind of stuff worked out, then we can come back in here and maybe add in some andesite and some smooth stone and some crackstone brick and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's just part of the process. The first thing I want to do is get a big structure like this in the general shape of what I ultimately want. And then once that's done, then I can come back in and add all the details. So that's kind of why it's so stone bricky right now. And don't worry, guys. I know last season, I know in season 4 with the dwarven base, we used a lot of stone brick. And I will be honest, there's going to be a lot of stone brick in the castle too. It's kind of unavoidable. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Build the castle out of sandstone and out of sand and dirt and purple? I mean, come on now. It's supposed to be a historically accurate castle. I'm kind of limited when it comes to Minecraft in the building options that I have available to me. But with that said, it is going to definitely have a different feel and style to it than the Dwarven base from last season. It will definitely feel different. I can assure you of that. And I think it's going to be awesome. I really do. There's going to be, this is definitely going to have a different kind of a feel to it. So, beef, vintage beef, a hero, a true champion sleeping the night away for me. Thank you so much. But what we may do, actually, before I do this, let's grab some of these stone bricks and let's just toss them into one stack of stone bricks into our super smelter so we can get some cracked stone bricks. Just a couple for me to work with. This should give me 8 as soon as they spit out. As soon as they're done with their first... Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I will take those. Okay, let's try this thing out. So just to give you kind of an idea of the things we can do here for texture variation, right? And I've got haste 2 right now. Good to know. That means I need to be very careful with my mouse clicks. And now it's gone. Okay, but anyway, we could come in here and do something like this. And then maybe we mix in a little cracked stone in a couple of spots, right? Something like that. And then maybe we add in a little andesite in a couple of spots just to kind of, mix up that texture a bit, kind of break it up and make it more interesting. And then maybe even we add in, in a couple of spots, a little bit of polished andesite. Maybe that would look good. Something like this. I don't think that looks bad. I think that looks quite nice, in fact. And then, maybe a little bit of this cobblestone action. You know what I mean? So we get this nice kind of texture variation. This is actually something I learned from watching BOO back before he went crazy with his texture pack and and made the texture pack do all the work for him. No, I'm just kidding. I love the guy. But one thing that he's really big on is texture variation, mixing up textures. Now this looks a little bit too stripedy, for lack of a better term. I don't really know how I would describe that, but he's really big on mixing up those textures, and you can see when you compare the corner of this tower to the corner of this tower, just how big of a difference that makes in making it look interesting and good. Same shape, same number of blocks, same colors, honestly. But this is a lot more interesting because it's got that texture variation. And we're going to do that kind of throughout the castle and mix it up a little bit. Now, we do have to be careful that we don't go too crazy because we don't want the walls to look really weathered and, beaten up. We don't want them to look like worn down, like the castle is falling apart. But we do want some variation in there to make it look interesting so it's not just all one big blob thing, right? So that's kind of important. The other thing we need to do is we need to add in some windows, or rather arrow slits in certain places within the tower and stuff like that. But I think before I get into that, before I get into adding arrow slits and texture variation and all that kind of stuff, I think I need to at least sketch out a little bit just how the rest of the keep is going to go. So let me take a look at that real quick. I'm not going to go into details like I will tomorrow when I'm planning it, but I need at least kind of a general idea of how high the rest of the keep is going to go. So let me see if I can get that worked out. Let me get a little bit of texture variation added into these towers and walls and things, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back, and I did a little bit of work. I think the castle's going to go up to about there for, like, the next level or whatever. Ultimately, it's probably going to end up about here if we're, standing right here and looking at it, because we'll have towers and turrets that kind of stick up farther than just this. But I think that's a good start to it. I also went and did some of the texture variation here. I can't say I'm loving the polished andesite. I think maybe the polished andesite is a little bit too much. which is kind of interesting considering it's one of the few other textures that mixes well with stone brick, but also looks not worn down. Like it looks like a properly maintained and crafted stone brick variant, so to speak, kind of, sort of. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm probably just not making any sense. But anyway, what I want to do... Horsey. Hey, there we go. What I'd like to do is I would like to run back to the communal area, and I want to show you guys some of the work that the other hermits have been doing, because there's been some pretty cool stuff going on in the communal area today that I think is definitely worth sharing. So first we got to figure out how to get over there. Oh, also, I found a horse and gave him diamond armor. He doesn't have a name yet. If you have a suggestion for the horse's name, put it in the comments, because I'd love to hear your suggestions on that. Let's go this way. So, yeah, while we're traveling over there, last episode I ran a poll about the music in the videos, the background music, that kind of acoustic, folky music that you hear. And I asked, should I keep it or should I get rid of it? And the response was overwhelmingly, keep it. Keep it. There were a couple people who said get rid of it. There were a couple people who said change it to dubstep or whatever. But overall, it was very, very strongly in favor of keeping it. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to try and put together another couple of playlists, because that's basically what it is. It's basically one giant playlist of songs that I have merged into one audio file and just use on the video. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and create a couple more of those, and then, you know, we'll have a little bit of a little bit more variety in the music, but it'll all be in the same style. But anyway, we're over here in the community area. I'm tempted to tear down my fish farm. I'll probably leave the starter cottage up for now, but there's some stuff that's been going on here. So Tango put up this guy, the Lack of Rack Donation Shack. Tango this season, if you don't know, is going to be building a base that involves a lot of, I'm assuming, nether brick is why he needs the nether rack, but maybe he needs the nether rack itself too. I don't know. Either way, so as we're doing tunnels in the nether and stuff like that, and we get all that useless nether rack that I'm never really going to use, we can donate it to Tango. So I'll definitely be doing some of that. I've actually already given him not quite a full double chest, but like 2/3 of a double chest, something like that. Over here, Mumbo has opened up what I think is the first actual shop on the server. Was going to be a shop, but then I remember that we don't sell items anymore. He was selling glass, but yeah, we're not doing the whole sale thing itself right now. Like, we're still kind of working out what our commerce system is going to be. And furthermore, when we were kind of talking about it, shops were going to be on this side, houses were going to be on this side of the circle. So either way, it would be in the wrong spot. So what I want to do here is, I do have a sign. Oh, do I have enough to make a second one? I think I need another sign. 1 second. I need a tree. I just need one tree. I don't even need a full tree. I just need, like, enough to make a couple more signs. Here we go. This'll work. Come here, oak tree. I need your wood. Come to me. Thank you. Okay. So, I don't need the leaf. So let's go like that. And like that. And we will rename Mumbo's shop. I'm going to do this because it has the stained glass, right? So the stained glass makes me think of this. So let's get our signs. And then we will say Welcome to the Church of Mumbo. Oh, but the floor is down half a slab. Okay, so we'll put it up above. Let's see. Welcome to the Church of Mumbo. Praise the spoon. And then I wonder if I could make like a little what would look like a spoon slightly on a very small scale. Let's try making some oak fences and maybe I don't know. What have I gotten here? Anything useful? Not really. We could do we could do like a stair sort of a deal. I need more wood though. Like I don't have stuff. Let me get a couple things together. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So I've got a little bit more materials here. Here's what we're gonna do. Since Mumbo has a thing with spoons, right? He is the spoon. We're gonna do a little bit of a spoon altar right here. We'll just lay it out right here, like a so. We'll go thing, like so. Put down a crafting bench right here. Let's make this. We'll put that here with a sign. And no, not there. Stupid thing. On the side, right there. Hey, there we go. And it's not a perfect spoon, but you know, it's spoon-like, right? Kind of. So that looks nothing like a spoon. Excuse me. Yeah, that looks nothing like a spoon. I don't know how we would build a spoon on such a small scale. Maybe we could try something like this. Let's put that back. Maybe we could do something like that. And then the problem is we don't really have a way to put, like, if I had vertical slabs, that would be amazing, but vertical slabs are not a thing. So, man, I don't know. Maybe we can go like that, and then up here. Yeah. Actually, here's what we can do. Okay, so we'll do this. And then you go facing that way. You go facing that way. Right? And then we can go make a few more stairs like this. And we can do that like our spoon. And then bring out that so it connects. That looks nothing like a spoon. You know what? We're just gonna go. I don't even know. What is this thing? Oh, actually, no. Now we could use slabs. Yeah. Okay, we'll be good. Let's just make some slabs here real quick, and we'll just kind of bring them out like so, and put a sign right here with an arrow that says the Holy Spoon of Mumbo. There we go. We're just gonna leave it like that. Now there are this is slabs down here. but this area right behind is a little bit spawnable, so we'll just put a torch back there and it should be fine. But this was his shop. It is now the Church of Mumbo. Because why not? All right. My horse. Oh, look at that. Horsey just sitting there waiting for me. How nice. How nice. Anyway, one final thing. Last episode, I told you guys to go over to Tinfoil Chef's channel and see if you could find out what changed. Tinfoil Chef got a new microphone. And I may or may not have had a part in that. Well, I'll be honest with you, I did have a part in it. I was involved. But if you want to hear the full story, I believe he's planning on talking about it in today's Hermitcraft episode, so go ahead and check that out if you want. I, unfortunately, guys, am out of time for this episode. I know it's a little bit shorter than usual, but as I said at the beginning of the video, time kind of got away from me today, and it's very late, and I still need to record an FTB Beyond video tonight. And we did get a little bit done with the castle planning and things like that. Oh, I also forgot to mention, well, this is a terrible place to show since... Oh, look at all the skeletons! Look at them all! They're everywhere! Die! You stop shooting my horsey! Stop shooting my horsey! Ow! Zombie! No! Okay. In! Be safe. No, don't run away, stupid horse. Can horses heal themselves by eating grass? Is that how they, like, heal? All right, you stay in your pen where it's safe and you can't get killed by nasty things. Speaking of which, torch, 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 and torch. And yes, that pen is temporary. Don't worry. It's okay. So... Before I sleep the night away, I did do some AFK fishing, and I think I am finally recovered from our little mishap last episode. Almost. I still don't have an elytra, but I do have a mending book and an unbreaking book to put on it once I do get one. All of my tools and armor are back to having mending. So I think I'm in pretty good shape. I think we're okay, but I am out of time for this episode, my friends. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.